Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your man, the Grass Ninja. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going over the Reaper Death Seal. So this is another entry into the Minato hype train. Road to Minato manga, the playlist on the channel. We've already covered the Rasengan. We've already covered the Flying Raijin. Today we're handling the Reaper Death Seal. We already talked about what to expect from the short manga. We covered everything, and I didn't even do the official announcement. This was a prediction. I said we're either getting a 50-something page short one-shot or we're getting a short manga. I covered all my bases, so definitely check out the whole playlist. But today, we're talking about the Reaper Death Seal, you guys, because this is one of the earliest jutsus that is classified or referenced as the 4th Hokage's jutsu. And we have the 3rd Hokage to thank for that when he defeated Orochimaru during the Konoha Crush arc, saying that I'm going to have to use the jutsu of the 4th Hokage. And then he whipped out the freaking God of Death. And we saw one of the coolest jutsus that almost everybody's got a tattoo of for some dang reason. You don't understand how hard it was to just find a decent picture of the Reaper, of the Shinigami for this video. Because it's just covered with everyone getting a tattoo of this thing. There's no real picture. So, anyway, the Dead Demon Consuming Seal, also known as the Reaper Death Seal, or in the Japanese translation, the Shiki Fujin, is a sealing technique that's been developed by the Uzumaki. Now, I want to point out, Kishimoto said he wants to create a story uncovering the secrets behind Minato's jutsu, right? And this is one of the first jutsus ever entered as the 4th Hokage's jutsu. And we understand that the Shiki Fujin is a sealing technique created by the Uzumaki, but I want to pause on that. The Dead Demon Consuming Seal, or in the Japanese translation, the Fuin Jutsu Shiki Fujin, should sound familiar, because not only does the Reaper itself resemble that of the Otsutsuki, but its actual name in Japanese is the Shiki Fujin, or the Dead Demon, or the Demon God, right? Now this is insane because we have Momo Shiki, we have Ura Shiki, Kin Shiki, E Shiki. This is a very popular trend. All of the Otsutsukis is something Shiki Otsutsuki. And now, when you look at this and you just see that connection, it's like, is Kishimoto gonna unveil some secret behind the Death God and the Otsutsuki Clan, making Minato just like Shinjutsu level? Like, I've been making that joke, but when you look into these jutsu and you see where Kishimoto's taking the story right now, he's like one of the only people that doesn't get power crept just because he's that broken. He was just gifted with the strongest stuff. And I'm going to explain it to you today because we already said it. This is a sealing technique developed by the Uzumaki that gives them the power to call upon a Shinigami, or a god of death. Now, its very existence was so top secret. It was so secretive that not even Orochimaru knew about it back during the Chunin exams era of OG Naruto, Konoha Crush arc. The first time he ever heard of or seen this jutsu was when the 3rd Hokage used it on him. Now, this is classed as an S-rank forbidden technique Fuin Jutsu, also coming in as a sealing jutsu, okay, composed of 10 hand seals. After the hand seals are performed, the user's soul is partially separated from their body, and it basically levitates behind them. Now, behind the user's soul appears the Shinigami, or the God of Death, which holds their soul in place with its hair, almost like how Kaguya famously does with her technique. Now, at this point, the only one that's able to see the Reaper is the summoner of the technique. It's like in a different dimension. It's invisible to those that aren't connected to it. Almost like the Limbo clones, bro. Now, next, the Shinigami basically wraps its arm in these prayer beads, and then a curse seal or a pattern forms around its arm, almost how like Sasuke's curse mark pattern spreads across his arm and body. It then stabs its arm through the summoner's soul. This allows the summoner to call upon the power of the Shinigami to seal their target. Now, when the Shinigami's arm goes through their soul, its arm emerges from the soul through the summoner's body, and then it grabs the target and it seals their soul away. Now, here's the important part, right? When the third Hokage performed this jutsu, he was required to like get close to his targets, right? He literally had to have his hands on Tobirama and Hashirama in order to pull their souls away, and the same thing with Orochimaru. He literally needed to hold his targets with his hands, okay? But when Minato did this, he was able to seal his target up from a distance. Kurama was doing something being held by Kushina's chains, and he just yanked half of its chakra out using the Reaper Death Seal. Now, this is insane because, for one, the only time we've ever seen a tailed beast have its chakra split into any kind of fraction was when Hagoromo split the Ten Tails. So again, my dude Minato's out here in like this Shinjutsu 6 paths brackets of power because he's splitting the Biju, he's summoning gods, and let's continue, okay? While the Shinigami is holding on to their target's soul, right? They're basically immobilized. So like once you hit your target with the Reaper Death Seal, they're paralyzed. They can't move. Any of their jutsu that they're currently using gets dispelled, and they're not allowed to perform any additional jutsu. So it doesn't matter if you have a Nine Tails chakra cloak, you're gonna get your whole chakra cloak is gonna get shut down. You won't be able to activate any other jutsu after that. It doesn't matter if you have perfect Susanoo. That joint is getting shut down, and then you can't even perform any jutsu, so your Sharingan gets deactivated. All this stuff would dispel and shut down any jutsu. Broken. Now, with that, the target is basically unable to escape until the Reaper is done doing its business. So they can't move, they can't try to escape, they can't even fight back, right? Now, the summoner begins to remove the souls of their target, and it's like sealed within their body. Hiruzen was able to seal multiple souls using this technique in conjunction with his shadow clones. Now, the sealing jutsu isn't like necessarily one shot or automatic. It does take effort, because we did see Orochimaru manage to negate this or resist this jutsu for the most part. Now, when Minato uses this technique, right, he's talking about how it'd be impossible for him to seal the entirety of the Nine Tails chakra with this technique or whatever, and he needs to preserve the Nine Tails for the village in the first place, so he just cuts it in half. Like, it'll be cool, Naruto can hang with half of it, I can hang with half of it for eternity or whatever. When Hiruzen uses it on Orochimaru, he's basically pushed to a point where he can no longer rely on his chakra, and he's just forced to rely solely on his physical strength to try to extract and pull out Orochimaru's soul. Now, this is interesting because not only did he fight off a reanimated first and second Hokage, and then also completely seal off their souls, if it wasn't due to this man's old age, he might have actually finessed the job on Orochimaru. But since he was left with little strength, Lord Third had literally no choice but to just settle with sealing away Orochimaru's arms by having the Shinigami cut off the arms of Orochimaru's soul. So the Shinigami itself, well, once the soul's pulled out, it chops it off from your body, and you're done after that. Now, the soul, right? Once the Reaper fully extracts the soul of your target, the target's soul is sealed within the body of the summoner. We see this with Hiruzen, we see this with Minato, right? The user, right? That seal, the soul sealed in their body, is represented by the swirl pattern on their torso, which is identical to the 8 tetragram seal used to bind the Nine Tails to its Jinchuriki, which is why in Minato's case, after sealing the Nine Tails yin chakra, or that half of the Nine Tails chakra, into himself, it technically made him a Jinchuriki at that point. So the Dead Demon Consuming Seal isn't just like, oh, I can kill my dude by sealing his soul. You technically, like, your soul and their soul are locked forever. Right? Now, when the seal is completed, the Shinigami starts to eat the soul of the summoner. So since the summoner has sealed their chakra or their target's soul within themselves, the demon just eats both of you guys, right? Now, this is crazy because when you guys die, right, when the seal is completed, you don't literally, like, go to the Pure Lands. You don't transition into heaven. You and your target spend eternity fighting each other in the belly of the Reaper. This is why when Orochimaru tried to reanimate the previous Hokage to take down Hiruzen, one of the coffins didn't work because Minato's soul was quite literally sealed away in the Reaper's belly. This is another reason why Orochimaru had to go to so much trouble to unseal the Hokage's souls and his arms from the Reaper's belly. He had to perform like 3 different S-class jutsus in order to bring back the Hokage, and I just feel like that's not talked about enough. Now, like I was saying in the beginning of the video, the actual name for the Reaper Death Seal is the Dead Demon Consuming Seal, or the Fuin Jutsu Shiki Fujin, okay? Now, is this dead demon, alright, connected to the Otsutsuki, and this is the secret that Kishimoto is going to kind of play with in the next 55 pages of the Minato one-shot? I don't know. I want to know what you guys are thinking. Is there any secrets behind the Reaper Death Seal that you think Kishimoto could explore in this new manga? Do you think it's going to be the Flying Raijin? Check out that video. You think it's going to be the Rasengan? I did one of those too. We're going to go over Minato's base form. We're going to go over KCM. We got a couple of things we got to go over. We're still like a few weeks away before the actual release of the Minato manga, so we're going to have to wait and see, and we'll break that down as well. But in the meantime, don't forget to like up the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, check out the rest of the videos in the playlist, man, and yeah, have a nice day. Peace.